What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 63 of Lured Up, the podcast where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. Today is Sunday, January 27th, 2019. I'm your host, Ken Pescator, joined by my co-hosts Adam Tuttle and Melissa Pescator, making silly faces at me in the Skype. Hi, guys.
Hi.
This is what
Melissa just woke up. She's delirious. And Adam is making cookies, and he wants to eat them.
Well, they're no-bake cookies, and I just want them now.
What are no-bake cookies? I still don't understand this.
Well, you got
How does
that's the misconception, is they're no-bake, but you still gotta cook. Regardless, you're cooking. You gotta heat up.
Well, there's some recipes that are legitimately no-bake
That's fucking blasphemy. If you're going to make cookies, I guess it's the same as like making sugar cookies where all you do is like pull them apart and put them on the tray and then put them in the oven. Like that's the prep.
Lazy man's way.
They make Pokemon cookies like that.
I know.
Pokemon sugar cookies.
My kids want them so bad, but I haven't been able to find them.
I think Target is the spot for them. Anyways, what's going on, guys? How are you? How was your week?
This episode.
Yo, I hosted 2 Boulder Cups today. We'll talk about that later. I've been fucking Pokemon going all day today, and
we'll talk about that later on too, right?
Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Yes, but first I want to talk about Patreon. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/gottawatchemall, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month, and that $1 will get you access to our patron exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people.
Sure is.
And I want to give a huge shout out to our show supporter tier patrons, Brittany J, Jessica Keith, Matt, M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, and Bacon L. Thank you guys so incredibly much.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We appreciate your support greatly. Thank you, guys. All right, on today's show, I want to talk about the Safari Zone in Porto Alegre, Brazil. It's going to be wrapped up as you hear this, but it does have some long-lasting implications on the game, particularly Shiny Psyduck. Swinub Community Day was announced. I think we brushed on that last week. Operation Portal Recon has kind of had this rebirth in Ingress. I want to talk about this because it has further put some higher priority for Pokemon players to get involved with this because I'll break it down. Look, I played Ingress for a while simply to get to level 10 so I could start using OPR. And I fell off. I got to like level 8 and I was like, it doesn't seem to have the legs that I needed to. Like I didn't feel motivated. And now hearing about this new system, it's like, all right, shit, I got to get back into Ingress because it's pretty cool what they're doing now. Like I said, I did some Boulder Cups today, but Silpharina actually did announce their February Global Cup, which is going to be the Twilight Cup. And we're going to build a battle party for that at the end of the show. All right, Safari Zone Brazil. Now, this was supposed to be covered by pretty much all the YouTubers. I remember them all saying they were going to go. And Nick from Trainer Tips got sick. He ended up not going. I guess Mystic 7 had some other things going on. He's launching this new brand or something like that. And Holly was the only one that ended up going. So her coverage, it was, I don't know what the scale that they were expecting for this Safari Zone, but this definitely seemed like the smallest Safari Zone that they've run compared to like the European stuff and the Japanese stuff. So I think that Holly said there was something like 5,000 people there. In the photos, it looked more like, I don't know, 1,500 or something like that. I don't know if maybe that was just for the photos, but regardless of how many people went, they did have some good spawns. There was increased spawns of Piplup, Turtwig, Chimchar, Bagon. They had unknowns spelling out Porto Alegre. Relicanth was the one that came from Mount Doom of Mordor and is now in Brazil. And then Shiny Psyduck was released at that event, and now ultimately Shiny Psyduck is available worldwide. So
I need one.
You still don't.
It's a cool fucking shiny. It's like the weirdest hue of blue on screen. Like it's like this weird ghosty looking pale, like it's almost like a spooky, ominous looking light blue. It's like
just it's a dead duck.
It's so funny. It's so funny. But it's been funny seeing everything online. Everyone's like, all right, we're going duck hunting and all that shit.
Yeah, my mom goes, yeah, I've been wondering why there's a bunch of Psyducks all over the place. She's like, I just clicked one and it was blue. And I said, I gotta catch it. And then that's like what she showed me today.
Mom. Damn you, Mom.
Mom, it's a shiny. You caught it. I'm glad.
But anyway, yeah, so the shinies are available now and the spawns have been everywhere. I've probably checked about, I don't know, 100 or 150 Psyducks maybe over the weekend. They've just been absolutely everywhere. And then today at one of my Boulder Cups, I caught the evil 666 shiny Psyduck. So I'm very, very excited about that. Nice. Very, very happy. I was in the middle of the Boulder Cup, running the Boulder Cup. So I'm like running back and forth, and we did this one in a mall food court. So it was mayhem to begin with. But I'm running all over the place because there's spawns everywhere. And when I finally clicked on it, I was like, I let out like a yeah, like a one of those.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Everyone that was competing, with their faces down in the phone, tapping hard as hell, like they all look at me like, I'm like, I got a shiny. It's all good. Return to your business. Nothing to see here. But it was all good. But
well, Community Day was announced.
Yeah, I think we brushed on it last week. Adam, you want to break it down? Break it down.
I'll break it down. Okay, so it's going to be Saturday, February 16th, 2019. We've got 3 times Catch Stardust, so you're definitely going to want to have a star piece for this. 3-hour lures are back. Mamoswine is going to be released, finally, during Community Day hours. Well, I mean, I guess after that too, but it's going to need a Sinnoh Stone to evolve, though. And they've given us a 5 guaranteed Sinnoh Stones from PvP matches, but is it during the Community Day windows?
All right, let me
give like all day, because it said. All right, hold on. So much
there was so much miscommunication. So they said they put out a statement saying that there was going to be an increase in opportunities to earn Sinnoh Stones from 3 to 5 during Community Day window. So
an opportunity,
right? But,
so that means a different task that you would have to do during the Community Day window
instead of catching Pokemon.
No, this is going to be from PvP.
Exactly.
So normally when you battle
right,
like you do 3 PvP battles a day right now, you have an opportunity to earn a Sinnoh Stone from those 3 battles. That is going to be upped to 5, but from those 5, you're going to get a guaranteed Sinnoh Stone. So if you do 5 PvP battles during the Community Day window, you will earn 5 Sinnoh Stones.
Guaranteed.
They had to release like a clarification tweet that Niantic support put out, and I think even Terry Wolf put it in our Discord because we were making jokes about it. But they wrote, I'm going to read it verbatim, quote, "Allow us to clarify further. On February 16th and 17th, trainer battle rewards will increase from 3 to 5 on both days. During your region's Community Day, you will be guaranteed 5 Sinnoh Stones. See the in-app notification for the date and time of your region's bonuses," end quote. Okay, so pretty much what they're saying is we're not going to give you exact clarification. We're just going to tell you that on those days, we're not going to clarify if it's within those hours. We don't know if you do PvP battles prior to the Community Day window, if that's going to take away from your opportunity to earn one of the 5 Sinnoh Stones.
I think that's how they have to do it. It's midnight, you do 5 battles, you get 5 Sinnoh Stones, cut and dry, boom, boom, done.
Yeah, but think about when they do like a free incubator thing. And that starts at 4 p.m. If you spin a stop prior to 4 p.m., you just blew your opportunity to get that free incubator after 4 p.m.
If Niantic doesn't do that at midnight, how many people are going to waste their 5 rewards, if you will?
That's what I'm saying. A ton of fucking people, just like people when they said, hey, you can get a free incubator today after 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Or you can get a free incubator today when the event starts. And then people would wake up in the morning, spin their first stop, and they're beat. So they need further clarification upon their clarification. And then it was funny in our Discord. Yeah, it was Terry Wolf that had posted a copy of that tweet. And then I made a meme of Exhibit and I wrote, "Niantic support. I heard you liked clarification, so I clarified your clarification to clarify your clarification." And I'm still fucking confused. Like, it just doesn't when a clarification email just makes people more confused. It's like, man, you guys really need some better
step up your game, bro.
Public relations. But if we play our cards right, you'll get the 5 Sinnoh Stones, but we don't exactly know. Hopefully we'll have more information.
And what do we think the exclusive move's going to be? Do we think it's going to be like Avalanche?
I think that it's going to be Avalanche. So Avalanche has been in the game for a long time. This was one of those moves that came in that big dump when we first saw like Hydro Cannon, but we'll have to see. And then also further clarification, what about the team leader battle? Do we get a Sinnoh Stone from that? Is that guaranteed?
No, because it says player versus player matches.
So I guess you're still going to have 6 opportunities that day to earn a Sinnoh Stone, but 5 of them are going to be guaranteed? Like, because why would it take away from... See, that's what I'm saying. They need to fucking clarify their clarification.
Yeah.
All I could say is Swinub Community Day is a bunch of caca anyway.
See, but you don't care about Mamoswine, though. I care...
He's
like,
stupid. He's a stupid Pokemon.
But
Stupid.
at least it's another
He's
Dex
ugly.
entry, right?
Stupid.
It is ugly. But it's going to be relevant. I know you don't give a shit.
Tell us how you really feel, Melissa.
It's stupid. Sorry, you Swinub lovers out there. How
No,
many
no,
are there?
I think
like, I
a
mean,
lot.
honestly, guys,
People
really? Are you
involved
really
in
excited
PvP and
about
raid metas.
Swinub
It's
Community
like a furry
Day?
pig.
Like,
It's a furry,
honestly,
furry pig. It's the year of
it's
the pig.
stupid. It's stupid.
I
I
can't
don't know.
wait
I-
for
Dumbest Pokemon
the-
It's
ever.
going to be good for
Community Day for
Sinnoh-Stones at large.
I can't wait
Just
for
give us the
the year of the
Mamoswine. Why
pig
can't you
event where
just,
they
like-
give us spoink tasks.
Oh god.
They're gonna give us this task day, and they're gonna be like, catch 20 Pokemon in order to do this. Walk 5 kilometers to do that. I can't wait for the next task day.
Oh
Well,
god. Please.
they need to
help
just
me.
do something on a Sunday so I can actually do it instead of bitching about it how I can't do it on a Saturday. Because
Yeah, because
That
now
shit's
pretty
pissing
much
me off.
all of these shinies that I'm banking up waiting to like trade for you, I'm gonna have to spend like over 2 weeks to like get you all these shinies.
All right, so let me go off on a little tangent today. I
right.
made a trade today. I made a very special trade today. So one of the competitors that was at the Boulder Cup today had just visited Brazil, not for the Safari Zone. He was pissed because he had just missed it, but had caught plenty of chats hot. So he's like, hey, I'm about to delete these. Who wants them? He's like, I'm going back to Brazil next month. It doesn't matter. I can get tons more. And I'm like, yo, hell yeah, let's do this. And I traded him a regular ass Psyduck for a Chatot, and it ended up being lucky. And I was like, this is so awesome. So I'm
awesome.
now
That's
the
exciting.
proud recipient of, outside of Torkoal and, Farfetch, like stuff that they've done at events. This is my first regional that I've received through a trade. So I was really, really excited about that. And it has the stamp from Brazil on it and everything. So super, super cool. Anyway, Swinub Community Day, they can't all be exciting Pokemon like Charmander. You know what I mean? Like they
No,
can't always.
Yes, they can.
They can
Well-
if they keep them special.
It should be. It's a community day. It should be a special Pokemon, not a stupid Swinub. Sorry. I don't know. He's just lame. Like I don't see like why couldn't they have just given us the Mamoswine like as a regular evolution, like a regular Sinnoh?
Yeah, I
Stone
feel
evolution like
I
everything
feel like this
else.
is
Why did that one have to be a community day? There were so many other cool ones.
Like you feel they made him a Community Day Pokemon simply to release Mamoswine? That might
Yeah.
be right.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like
I think you're right.
And I
It's
think that's
honestly
corny
upsetting.
as bullshit. Because Swinub is stupid.
No, but you know what? That
And
makes
ugly.
sense. Like, because why? If they're
Why would you do
interesting.
that?
because we were all expecting, either Bagon or Routes or Trapinch. You know what I
Like
mean? Like we were waiting
Oh,
for all those.
God,
Pokemon.
no
Something good.
Trapinch, please.
Yeah, I know, but like we were waiting for those community days because those are like 10K egg hatches or or
Yeah,
new
where's
Pokemon.
Routes? Like, yeah, come on, man. Snorlax. I'm just saying.
Routes is actually a really good one. Like that's the one I know people have been waiting for for absolutely forever. But
And I'm calling it. The February
They should go
Heart
crazy,
Pink
do a
event
fucking
is going to be
Shinx.
shiny Jigglypuff. And if not, missed opportunity. And if February's community day isn't Routes, again, missed community.
no, February's
missed
Community
opportunity.
Day is freaking Swinub.
Oh yeah, Jesus! What
Exactly, stupid.
the Niantic?
Exactly, bro.
You done fucked up, Niantic.
You fucking blew
No, but
it.
but
You
I
could
bet
have
you that-
released Gallade.
But look, they probably will do something for Valentine's Day. Maybe they do a candy event again or something like that. But that would be the previous week before Community Day. So
They
who
better.
knows?
The only acceptable resolution that I'm going to accept is if they do like something special with like all the pink or like all the fairy Pokemon like releasing all their shinies at once. That's all their shinies at once.
I want the world.
Exactly.
I
That's the only
want
way I'm
the
going to
whole
be
world.
satisfied with
Give it
this
to me.
flop of a decision for fucking stupid Swinub.
No, I'm sure they'll do some kind of pink thing. I doubt they're going to release a whole wave of shiny Pokemon, but They'll probably do something. I mean, maybe they'll just do increased pink Pokemon spawns, and then we have the Shiny Love Disc, but maybe they'll do like Chancy Blissey kind of thing.
That's what I was going to say. When are we getting a Chancy Community Day?
Yeah.
Fuck?
See,
like,
now,
honestly.
The problem with that, though, and maybe not, I would say that it would alter the meta so much because as far as defending Pokemon go, Blissey is still the shit. Blissey's still the best. Blissey is a holdout Pokemon for a lot of people. For players that haven't been playing from the beginning, that have just gotten into the game or just come back to the game, they may not have the Chansey candy to have a Blissey.
See, if they did a task day for Chansey and made it a point where, like, you're going to need to do a lot of hatching or you're going to need to do a lot of walking, like, give us, like, that right there, like, give me 3 chances at a shiny Chansey, but make them like, okay, I have to hatch like 3 eggs or something. Again, yes, that's a big task, but the reward is a Chansey. I can Pine-Up that and get 6 candy.
Yeah, not Phoebus. I don't know. If they do something with Chansey, they got to make you work for it. But yeah, I mean, that would be a Pokemon where, like Charmander Day, people came out of the fucking woodwork. Like, so many people were out that day. Like, if they did a Chansey Community Day, the amount of people that would come out to that would be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But maybe they want to hold that off on to do something big, like till the weather breaks, till the majority of the world is in the good weather. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that would.
They could just be sleeping.
Well, now I can't get it out of my head that really the influencer of choosing Swinub might have been just because it made sense to release Mamoswine this way, just like they were releasing Shiny Phoebus. So they put this fucking limited research thing all around just the release of Shiny Phoebus. They want to release Mamoswine. Now they're going to wrap it all around a community day just to give it a vessel of release. I don't know. It makes a lot of sense, but you're right. Swinub is not a sexy Pokemon. It's not a,
No, it's not appealing. It's going to be.
It's no Machoke.
Oh my God.
All right, let's get it. I'm going to put my nerd hat on. This is super important. This is super important. So Operation Portal Recon, we've talked about it plenty on the show over the years. This is the in-game portal submission feature in Ingress where people can say, hey, that moose that's outside of, down the street from Adam's house, that moose that's the carved moose at the end of your block.
Don't tell anybody where I live. Gosh. No.
They can, you want to make that a PokeStop or a portal in Ingress, you have an in-game submission tool where you would submit it through the game, right? And then that is going to be then viewable by other people that are enrolled in Operation Portal Recon. And those are all Ingress players. You have the option to do it once you hit level 10. So you have to put some time into Ingress. I got to level 8 and then I bailed because it was too difficult to try to manage 2 games. But now they release this reward system where players are going to be incentivized to get involved here. And once these points of interest have been received by Niantic, you then have the option to vote on them. Yes, this should be a PokeStop. No, this shouldn't be a PokeStop. If 100 times your vote is sways with the crowd, and it matches the result of that PokeStop. Like, yes, that's going to become a PokeStop and you voted for it. That's called an agreement. So once you hit 100 agreements, which means you're going to have to put a shit ton of work in it. But what that means is when you submit a PokeStop, it then gets priority to be added to the game.
Jesus, this sounds like way too much fucking work, bro.
Okay, it's a serious amount of work.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, this is a ridiculous fucking commitment here.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Oh, it gets better? Okay, tell me more, please.
So for you to really understand how and where you can submit PokeStops, you have to go back to the whole S2 cells. Remember that from like a year ago when we were talking about it?
Go back to the beginning.
Well, like when we were talking about how to trigger EX raids before we had EX raid tags. Ago. It was like a year ago.
And when Mewtwo first launched.
We had to look at an S2 cell map to figure out where the key gym was, because you can only have 1 EX raid per certain dimension S2 cell. With PokeStops, it uses an S17, S2 cell. I'm gonna put some links in the description here. If you're interested in learning about this, GamePress put a fantastic article together a while ago breaking down how S2 cells are kind of the real building blocks and formatting of how PokeStops, gyms, ingress portals, all that stuff is built out. So if you understand how S2 cells work, you're going to have a better understanding of where you can have eligible PokeStops that, if you submit, have a better shot of actually getting implemented into the game because they follow the formatting and rules of the S2 cell to PokeStop ratio. So there's a certain amount of, you know what I mean? So it gets very complex.
I don't know what you mean because I'm nerding out with you.
So like, let's say you're looking at a map of your area and you lay a grid of S2 cells over it. I'm going to link to a mapping tool that you can put your location in and drag and drop a grid, a square over it, and it'll show you what the S2 cells are. And then you can kind of map out where the PokeStops are within those S2 cells. And if there's an S2 cell that does not have any PokeStops in it, that's going to be a place where you're going to want to go map out and submit a PokeStop in, because that's going to have a higher chance of being implemented in the game and all that good stuff. So I'll link the instructions. I'll link to do this. This all, if you want to even go a step further, and this is going to kind of take me on a tangent here, but this is an important one. We talk about how OpenStreetMap, which is the basis of the mapping system in Pokemon Go, is user created. I'm an official OpenStreetMap editor. I can go in and edit my local or global, OpenStreetMap to change the scenery. I can say this is a school, this is a park, this is a lake, this is a swamp. I can, draw, like you could like do graffiti and, write out words in bushes in OpenStreetMap and they'll show up in the game. It's possible to kind of manipulate the system. I remember we were talking about how people could really exploit this and say, oh, hey, I'm going to make a walking path around my house because Pokemon Go will look at walking paths and put spawn points on the paths. So there's, it's like kind of like a with great power comes great responsibility. But if you understand how OpenStreetMap works and then take that knowledge, lay an S2 cell grid over it, and understand how the mapping of PokeStops and gyms works in Pokemon Go, you could be fucking really, really engaged in shaping and mapping the future of Pokemon Go in your community. Because you can add stops, add gyms, and they're constantly adding stops and gyms. So I encourage everyone, if you have the capacity or the interest into getting into this, now is the time, because there's going to be plenty of Ingress players out there that are going to want to be part of this system because they get rewarded in game. So now is the time to get involved, level your ass up in Ingress, and start submitting portal or start submitting stuff.
Because and because Melissa and I are super silent, that we're not going to do this.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay, because one of us is going to do it. One of us is going to do it for us. I'm definitely going to go back into this, and it leads me into this tangent I was talking about. Now, this is something complete Sidewinder. It's been brought up on Reddit before, and people have tagged us on Twitter. How we're in Jersey. I work 15-20 minutes outside of Manhattan, right? Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens, because someone fucked with OpenStreetMap and tagged the entire map of Long Island as a certain type of like forestation. When it comes to how Pokemon Go pulls data from OpenStreetMap to submit nests, like Pokemon spawn nests, all of Long Island, tip to tip, plus Brooklyn, plus Queens, is what they call a MEGANEST. It's all one fucking nest, all of Long Island.
They blew it.
And it's right. And because this is based on OpenStreetMap data, there's like the last time Pokemon Go polled OpenStreetMap for data was April of 2018. So any edits that have been made. So I was like, I remember when we had Kim and Teddy Burr on the show, great YouTubers from New York. So I was going back and forth with them on Twitter, and they're like, yeah, we're fucked. So when they do an event like Psyduck, none of the Psyducks are going to spawn because we're in a nest. We live in a nest. They had to travel to Manhattan because all their whole area is a nest that is going to prevent the penetration of like event spawns from happening. So like they didn't see Delibirds like everyone else. They didn't see, the Psyducks. And the only way to really get those things to spawn is through lures and incense. So these people end up having to pay to play these events in their home area because without lures and incense, they don't see any spawns whatsoever. Now, again, I don't condone this, but when it comes to like Pokemon tracker maps that show all the spawns, it was pretty eye-opening when they were showing these map data of like all the spawns of Psyduck, and it literally just is like a line just cuts right off at Long Island. It's so crazy.
It's fucked
So,
up.
and then I was talking with Kim Byrne. I go, hey, let me go. I'm an OSM editor. Let me go in there and see what I could do. It's been cleaned up. So like Long Island should be corrected. But the problem is Pokemon Go hasn't pulled that data to update their maps since April. So it's just sitting at that old, that old layout. It sucks. And then all these people started chiming in on Twitter, talking about like, this has been, going on forever. There's always all screwed up. I found out that there's one in Berlin, Germany. Also, there's another huge area of Berlin that's just completely taken out by a goof up in OpenStreetMap. So they can't get event spawns. It's absolutely wild. So it's very, very powerful tools. It is community driven and it is open source. So if you don't know what you're doing, you could really fuck shit up. And it's like, but in the same note, you could also correct things. So it's like, if you're going to get into this, I recommend doing your homework, really doing your research. There's plenty of YouTube videos on it. There's plenty of Reddit posts on, exceptionally nerdy detail of people detailing how to do this. I'm going to link to a bunch of them, but this could be a way to really shape the future of your area of Pokemon Go. I'm telling you, if you manipulate this stuff in a positive way, in a non-exploitive way, you can make that moose at the end of your block into a PokeStop. You know what I mean? It's like, it's all good. It's all good. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that MEGANEST thing because that was freaking crazy. Like I said, I did 2 Boulder Cups today.
How did they go?
They went freaking awesome. I'm super impressed with the way that the Sylph Arena software works. I mean, it really makes it foolproof and makes it really easy for tournament hosts to kind of pull this stuff off. But what they did announce, the February Global Cup, and normally we do our battle party last, but I want to dig into the battle party a little bit earlier in the show here because I want to talk about this Twilight Cup. So we're going from the Boulder Cup, which was Fire, Ground, Rock, and Steel Pokemon. This cup is going to be Dark, Fairy, Poison, and Ghost. How freaking awesome is that meta? That is so cool that you're going to have all these types of Pokemon that you don't really ever use in your other metas, in your gym battles, in your gym defense, in your raid battles. Like, you're not necessarily bringing poison Pokemon. You know what I mean? That's not something that's that common. And with this,
or even Fairy for that matter.
Right, you're only using that as a defender for Blissey, you know what I mean? But you're not bringing a fairy attacker. I mean, you don't really bring Gardevoir out, you know what I mean? Like, there's not even a fairy fast attack in the game. It's like these are underutilized Pokemon. And what makes this exciting is Fairy is double weak to Poison. Dark is double weak to Fairy. Ghost is double weak to Dark. They all combat each other. So it's going to really...
So it's just a huge rock, paper, scissors game.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, only Poison doesn't have a double weakness in this fight here. But I think this is going to make for some really, really intense PvP matchups where with the Boulder Cup, I had the first one I did today, there was 13 competitors. And I think about 9 or 10 of those parties were almost identical. Everyone pretty much brought the same Pokemon. They had the same moves. It really was just a matter of who can choose the right order to do things and when to switch out, when to use shields. With this, it's really going to, I think this is going to thin the pack out and give even increased diversity into our parties because there's going to be so many ways that you can either screw your opponent or get screwed by your opponent. So I want to do a battle party that's centered around this, and let's get into this as part of our PvP update. This PvP update is brought to you by the New Jersey Sylph Arena, Jersey's premier accredited Sylph Arena League. Visit njsylpharena.com for more info. I'm going to link to a list. This was from a fantastic Reddit user named Skydiver2021. He ran a stupid amount of simulations on PokeBattler from within this meta and came up with a great list of, the top tier Pokemon that match up with this meta. So I kind of built my party around this, but I'm sure that as I get closer to the event, I'm going to stray from this, but just based on what I have in my inventory, this is what I'm going to be bringing.
Did you say battle party?
Oh, yes.
All right,
I did
guys.
say battle party.
I'm sorry.
2, 1.
Battle
party. Ooh, battle party. Ooh.
So
Melissa's
corny.
face is so
We
funny.
get that. We get
Every
that
time.
on lockdown.
Her face is so funny every time. I laugh every freaking time. So good. Anyway, so yeah, I'm kind of basing my party around this list that Skydiver 2021 put together for this meta. Now, when the Boulder Cup meta stuff first started coming out, everyone was like, it's going to be all about Melmetal. Everyone's going to bring that. Everyone's going to have it on every party. That's all you're going to see. And it turned out in the end that Melmetal was overrated. So we didn't really see a lot of it today. So I'm sure that this stuff will change over time. Again, this was based on early kind of simulations and stuff like that. I'm sure things will change as people do different move combinations and different IV combinations and all that. But I'm going to bring Azumarill. This is a good opportunity to use Toxicroak. Again, poison Pokemon I think are going to have a really strong place in this meta. That's why I'm also bringing Venusaur. Drifblim is in there. I just like the story behind Drifblim, so I'm going to bring that. Beedrill. When do you have an opportunity to ever use Beedrill? Never.
You don't.
Never, ever, ever. And then finally, Umbreon. Umbreon is on the list with Last Resort and Foul Play. So, I mean, it's like you can really start to switch things up and still maintain a good, coverage over the other Pokemon in the meta. So, yeah, it's a motley-ass crew. Azumarill, Toxicroak, Venusaur, Drifblim, Beedrill, Umbreon, but I don't know. I think that's a strong early look, a hot take at the Twilight Cup meta, just based on...
definitely a hot take.
Well, I mean, you're I don't know. Melissa, what are you going to bring?
Well, based on what they said up there, I'm going to bring Asmodee, because I have a couple good at one of those little fuckers, and a Venusaur, and my Alolan because he's cool.
Yes.
And I have a really good Nidoqueen, and Umbreon, because I never get to use him, and Tentacool, because you never, ever get to see him play.
That's that's the John Henke Pokemon.
I was holding on to 5, not 5. I was holding on to 3, earn 5 candies while walking with your buddy, but when I realized that it was Tentacruel, I just trashed them all. I was like, there's probably 100% in here, but I don't care.
I've been out of the egg game ever since the last event. I haven't had any incubators by design. I don't want any because I blew my load on all those boxes a couple events ago. So it's like I haven't hatched anything. So anytime I get any research at all that's like hatch 2 eggs, Hoenn Celebration, it's like nope, that'll take me fucking forever because I'm using my unlimited standard speed incubator. Fuck that shit. But Melissa, I like the Alolan Muck Nidoqueen combo, and again, I think that poison Pokemon are gonna be the ones to kind of take this tournament. I think they will end up being the Skarmory, Metachan combination that we see in the Boulder Cup on every party. I think that poison Pokemon are going to shine here, and Adam, you've got some poison Pokemon in there too.
Ooh, I love my poison Pokemons. I've got Swalot, Dustox, Sableye, and Sableye, I'm just super stoked to be able to use him. Nidoqueen, I haven't evolved my shiny Nidoran yet, the 100%. So I'm like, do I do this? Will it stay under the 15? But I'm thinking that Nidoqueen is what I want to bring. Venusaur and Umbreon.
So we all have Venusaur.
You know what? Why is Haunter not in there?
It's
because Haunter
ghost
should be like Ghost Poison.
Because it's a glass cannon, and it just doesn't have a high enough attack stat with its movesets to be relevant.
I mean, you never know, Melissa. Just build out a party and battle. Let's see what it can do.
I'm going to take the liberty of just deleting all of Melissa's Pokemon and putting
all
Haunter.
Coughings.
All Coughings. Actually, this is going to be they're implementing a new rule for the Twilight Cup that you're only allowed one Pokemon per species. So there was actually someone that brought 3 Skarmory in their party today, which was a total grief for who he faced. But they're limiting that to one Pokemon per species for this. So even if you wanted to bring 6 Snorlax, you couldn't. Sorry.
Wow, that's bullshit.
All right, couple bits of miscellaneous news before we wrap things up. There's not a terrible amount of stuff that going on this week in the game outside of Porto Alegre. I was invited to take part in the UPPL, the United Pokemon Podcasters League. This is a content creator collective that has a podcast, and it brings all these podcast hosts together from all forms of Pokemon fandom, and we're doing a competitive PvP draft league, which is completely out of my wheelhouse. Like, I've never done anything like this before. My experience with any VGC or competitive play on the 3DS was exceptionally limited to like casual stuff with my son. So that I have no fucking experience at all with this. And some of these people have podcasts that are dedicated around this kind of shit. So it's like, it's a really cool dynamic. I'm learning a ton, and I've got to meet a bunch of really cool podcast hosts and really, really helpful people in the community. So I'm going to link to this because I want everyone to check out all these other podcasts. There's so many podcasts out there that I never knew existed about Pokemon, and some of them are super intriguing. There's this one called The Science of Pokemon, where all three hosts are actual professional scientists and huge Pokemon nerds, and they take a scientific perspective on anatomy of Pokemon, how Pokemon would live in the real world and interact with us. Like, it's fucking brilliant. You would never like.
I love that. I need to listen to that.
It's super cool. Like, one's a biologist. It's so cool. It's so freaking cool. So I'll link to that. I want everyone to check out these other podcasts. Definitely give them a sub. Give everybody a hello. And let them know we sent you. I just think it's a great opportunity to get in front of more Pokemon content. And when the tide rises, all the boats get lifted. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm sorry.
All right, unpopular opinion here. I want to follow up on the conversation we had last week about multi-accounting, because I brought this up on Twitter. We got some fantastic feedback from our fans, and I learned some pretty insane stuff that I had no idea was going on. So first, I'm going to start with a story. So I'm on my lunch break. I go to the park, beautiful Warnanko Park in Linden, New Jersey.
Aww.
And there's an EX gym there, so I'm like, all right, let me take this fucking gym down. And as I'm pulling into the park, it's Instinct, right? I click on it. Of course. There's one Pokemon in it, right? I'm like, fucking great, easy peasy. Knock this thing out, drop a Meltan in there, I'll be good to go. By the time I park my car, there's a car in front of me parked, right? One person in the car, driving only. And within 2 seconds, the gym is full. 6 Pokemon.
Okay, that sucks.
Could be coincidence. Instinct. Could be coincidence. Who knows? Whatever. I'm on my lunch. I got time. I'm going to take this fucking gym down, right? So the truck pulls away. I start battling all 6 Pokemon. I get through it all the way twice. Boom. Golden Raz. They're all back up to full health. Okay. This guy wants to play hardball. No problem. I got time. I battle again. And again. And again.
And again?
45 minutes later, he's still burying the gym, right? Now.
He wants that yellow. He wants to keep it yellow.
But listen to this. When you're burying a gym, you can only give a Pokemon 10 berries before they reject any additional berries for that session, right? So I made it a point to go through 21 times and battle this gym down, which showed me that this fucking guy had multiple accounts worth of berries and was able to continually dump berries into these Pokemon because it wasn't just coming from one account. I can give 10 berries, this one can give 10 berries, that one can give 10 berries. I was like, this is why this fucking sucks. This is why multi-accounting is fucking bullshit, because this one person is fucking locking me out of this gym because they have a fucking deluge of berries to just throw at this thing. I was like, you motherfucker. I was pissed. I was really fucking pissed.
So, can I jump in?
Yes.
So, I agree. That sucks. I think 3 accounts is too many. I think having an additional one isn't as bad.
Which I've learned is called, the nickname is the baby account.
The baby.
That's the nickname.
And
that's
now, honestly, Melissa's going to hate me. The internet might hate me. I have, I've had a tablet, and that was for my daughter. She came out with us and played sometimes, but she had to connect to Wi-Fi. So again, it's like, if there was Wi-Fi, she could play. If not, it was whatever. Since then, I've gotten a new phone. The other phone is still only Wi-Fi enabled, and I use that if there's a raid.
So how many accounts are you playing on, Adam?
2.
Oh shit!
But hear me out.
Oh.
When my son's in the back, and he wants, the phone's just with me. If somebody has Wi-Fi, I let him play. If not, it's not a big deal.
So why could you not just let him play on an account that you're not playing?
Because I'm playing. I'm playing on my phone. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
fucking gray. It's
very great because it's like I'm one person. I drove a half hour today. Okay, I drove a half hour to get to a gym with a Groudon that other people had said they were going to. Some people backed out. One of the people there had a hotspot, and I wasn't planning on using that one, but luckily they had a hotspot, so I was like, well, I have another account, we can do it with 4. I wouldn't have been able to have driven 30. It's still me. I drove there 30 minutes to get to this gym right at Hatch, and then waited another 10 minutes for people, learned that they weren't showing up. And if I didn't have that spare account, we wouldn't have been able to beat it. We beat it with 13 seconds left.
I'm that meme of Michael Jordan crying right now.
Where it's like I don't. This isn't like
I get it. It's not malicious.
Every single raid I've got to do.
I get
but
it. I get it for you, Adam, because of where you live. I don't know. There shouldn't be stipulations on where you live. There really shouldn't.
Right. And
that's what I know.
And for me, if I'm ever going to drop this in a gym, there's one gym that has Wi-Fi access, and that's the only gym I'd ever take. And I only use my one account to take it down. Because I think that's unfair.
I just think that is such a fucking slippery slope, too.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's going to be like, Adam... Yes,
no, but honestly,
next thing you know, you're spoofing, and I'll be like, "That's it."
There you go.
That's another conversation.
But no. Honestly, this is the thing, though. I don't think everyone is going to be pissed because, from what I've learned through this week of communicating with people on social, people don't give a fuck. I'm the only asshole that gives a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like that's really what I'm learning is like. People don't necessarily care about this. They don't see it as a negative. They don't see it as a detriment to the game. They don't, it's widely accepted. So I was very shocked by that.
I think if you're wiping out a gym and leaving 6 Pokemon, no, go to hell. Honestly.
If you're wiping out a gym and you're putting 6 different Pokemon that are all your Pokemon.
That's abuse. That's abusing the game.
That's corny.
And one extra account. And I don't bury anything. I don't bury anything with the other account.
To do that. There's always going to be, if you have that kind of chance to...
It's like with great power comes great responsibility. Here's great power, having that second crutch, if you will, to get you to complete a raid where there's
That's
not
a participation trophy in my perspective. You can't do the raid. You can't do the raid. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, but I'm there. I physically.
I know. No, dude.
It's just.
I get it, and it's a fucking game. We're not talking about filing fucking taxes here. I get it. But let me further piss Melissa off here.
Oh God.
So I learned of something that is a little bit different than multi-accounting, and it goes by the moniker multi-devicing. I've never heard about this before this week. So, one person, one account, 2 devices. So they log in to both phones simultaneously. Now, normally, if you catch a Pokemon on one device and you're logged into another device and catch a Pokemon on that other device, boom, there's your red flag, there's your soft ban, right? So what they do is they log in on one phone, they attach a gacha to it, and just put it to stops. And they put that in their bag and let it run 24/7. And then on their other phone that they're actively playing on, they just catch. So they never have to worry about spinning stops or doing.
Oh my God!
Or they can have their other device attached with a gacha for just catches. So then both devices are running simultaneously. They never have to trip over each other because obviously if they're in the middle of a catch
and
sequence...
the person never has to play the game.
Right.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life, you lazy fucking nerds.
I know. But like if you have a Go... Like look, if you have a Go Plus and you're in the middle of a catch sequence, you know, the three beeps and your confirmation or whatever, while that's happening, you can't spin stops. You can't catch another Pokemon.
Yeah.
So
because you should be you can because you should be walking and not driving in your fucking car. So you stop and you fucking catch
let's
your Pokemon.
Talk about the speed cap. What happened to you with those Meltans?
Oh my god! Here's another. I'm full of stories this week, guys. I'm full of fucking stories this week. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but I opened my Meltan box on my way to work. Right?
Why would you do that? You're driving.
I know. I'm an asshole. That's why. That's why I'm an asshole. Now, look, I talk about being, you know, the champion of the TOS all the time. Look, playing in the car is like one of those fucking things, man. It just happens. It just fucking happens, right? So,
Your phone's on a hook. It's not in your hand.
It is. It's on a fucking hook, whatever, right? So I popped the Meltan box. I don't know why. Like I did it and I was just like, oh, why did I fucking do this, right? I ended up having 8 Meltan run on me because of the speed cap. And the speed cap to me is the biggest piece of bullshit in the whole fucking game. Because if it's going to prompt you and ask you, are you a passenger? That should tell the game, remove the speed cap. Because what it's doing is preventing passengers from being able to play. You can't play Pokemon Go when you're commuting on a train. You know what I mean? You just can't because your speed is too high. So it's like, I was so fucking pissed and it got me thinking. I was like, this is one of those bullshit things they need to fucking get rid of. I go, because the Go Plus will still pick up on stops when you're driving fast. You just can't spin them. It'll still, you know, if there happens to be a spawn, like the game can handle it. Obviously it's a safety and liability issue, but fuck that shit. It's prompting you. It's saying, are you a passenger? Yes, that should be enough. But I was fucking salty as shit. I got to work. I'm like, yo, I just fucking blew 8 Meltan. Like that's fucking, you know, that's a lot of candy. That's a lot of Meltan candy. I was pissed. I was like, I'll never make that mistake again. Next time I do a Meltan, I'll be sitting on the toilet bowl for 30 minutes because I ain't fucking moving.
Oh my god.
Are you okay? Everything coming out all right?
Everything's good. But yeah, I was pissed. I was pissed at the speed cap. All right, finally, last thing before we wrap up the show, let's do a quick Go Ranger check-in.
What's up, everybody? It is Go Ranger Matt, and this is the Go Ranger check-in.
All right, we're about to come into February, which means we still have a full month of this rotation of research and all that stuff. So as far as the stuff to complete your Meltan special research, you know, catching Cubone, Anorith, the Laleep, Kabuto, Ammonite, Aerodactyl, you still have a whole nother month on that. Same thing with spin to number 5. Adam, have you found a spin to 5 yet?
I found one.
Nice.
I found one and I held on to it for my dear life.
I'm never going to get those fucking
I need
Pokemon.
to get 5 curveball throws. Or great. And I did it. I did it the first try. I literally didn't have one, it didn't say streak broken. I like picked and chose which Pokemon to catch. I was like, oh, this Gulpin's easy.
Whalmer. Yeah, Whalmer. Venonat's another good one. It's really easy. But by the time you hear this, hopefully you've evolved all of your Shroomish into Breloom because to get Grass Knot Breloom, that's going to be wrapping up in a day and a half from the time of this recording. So when you hear this podcast, that'll already be over and done.
Oh yeah, and
Hoenn Celebration's wrapping up. Yep.
And the increased Zigzagoon and Talos will go away. Which
God, Mr. Talo.
Yeah. So today, my day off, I actually was able to get out for a little while, and I happened to find a shiny Talo. I was just kind of like, what?
Oh my god, dude.
And then on the way home
Shermanator in the Discord was like, Adam and your fucking shinies, man.
See, she feels me, man. Fucking Jesus. God
well, I don't know
damn
what I'm
it,
supposed to... And then my mom's like, oh, there's shinies of those ones? And I'm like, yeah. And we're driving back from the EX raid for Deoxys, and I'm like, yeah, he's like a orange and white color. And then the next one I click, he's just right there. I was like, hey, it's shiny. She goes, oh, which one? I want to click it. And I was like, no, it doesn't work that way.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
I love it. Yeah,
you still have you could travel back in time to finish that. But for the other stuff, the Spinda and the such a bullshit thing with the research breakthrough, the weekly thing with all the different, 8 choices. Whole another month of that. It's so shitty. I got fucking Suicune last week. I was like, really? God,
Oh, I got
fucking
Articuno.
troll.
I like Suicune.
Twice. The past 2 weeks have
Pokemon.
been Articuno, and they've just been
Well,
garbage.
Suicune's definitely the sexiest one out of all of them, but the least practical, the least usable. But it is the prettiest. It has like
That's all I care
has
about.
ribbons flying off of it.
I
Cuteness, cute level.
Yes.
And how do you not like Mamoswine then? That thing is so cute.
No. So.
No, Swinub is cute. I'll get it's cute. Swinub is cute, and
Bro.
like in essence. And
What?
if you see when you're trying to catch it and it like wobbles around, it's like this little sniff thing.
No.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
No,
Piloswine is like
animation is cute.
ugly, hairy. Yes, it's got some tusks, like whatever. Mamoswine, it's like a clown on an elephant, like a clown face on.
Don't say that, really, because I don't know what it looks like.
No,
You don't know what a Mamoswine? Oh my god!
Oh my god!
It's
She's
a
like
clown.
saying it's
Put
she's
it, picture
saying it's ugly.
the
She doesn't
basic
even-
clown face, the painted clown face.
No, picture
that.
a clown monkey, not like a clown like a
What?
human.
clown
No, that
face
makes
and
it
put
even.
that-
Just
and
the way
put
you're
that on a
describing it is
like-
making it sound even
Put
more
that on a
horrific.
woolly mammoth. Put it on a woolly mammoth.
Oh, God.
Melissa is deathly afraid of clowns, like legit.
Yes.
Like it's
So
a
you're
phobia.
gonna love this one.
It's not clowny.
Like,
It's not like
who's
Whaleren.
the fucking-
Whaleren,
who's
like
the
the Gallagher
Whalmer?
Pokemon.
No,
yeah,
not Whalmer.
Whaleren. Whaleren.
Whaleren,
I can't
yeah.
show you
Yeah.
one in the game because
I
it's not
can't.
released
He's
yet.
so clownish. I can't handle him. I fucking hate him so much. I like when I see him, I just want to like punch him
Wait, are we talking about
in
Mr.
his
Mime?
stupid curly hair. I wanna
No,
rip
we're
it
talking.
out.
I actually have I have the Pokemon Go sprite of Mamoswine because Charles dug it up, of course.
Show me.
And I am going to drop it in the top of the document, and we'll get your live hot take.
Oh God. Okay,
Right
please.
now, it's right below. It's not bad.
Oh, it's not
look at it.
terrible. It's more
Okay.
like it's more like a luchadora, like
It
No,
is
that's
almost
how
like a
Lucha.
luchador mask.
That's how Lucha.
Yeah.
right?
No.
Did I
no,
say it
but-
right?
Yeah, yeah,
This
luchador.
seems like
no.
it's got a ski mask or something.
But he still
Yeah,
has
he's
like the
the-
Swinub little nose.
It's
But the
not little.
Piloswine
Okay,
touch.
I think he's
don't
in a
mi-
triangle
actually-
formation, not an oval.
I don't mind him only because he's got the blue around his eyes. He's kind of.
He's got black
okay.
around his eyes and
He's
white.
okay. All right, I'll give him
Yes.
that. But still,
All right.
But we still don't need a fucking community day around stupid Swinub because I just don't want to see his stupid ass. Like I just don't. And did they say anything about a shiny or no?
Oh yeah, of course.
Every community day is a
yeah.
shiny.
So what? So
Yeah.
what is the shiny?
They
look
have
like?
they have a greenish tinge.
green.
Yeah.
The Piloswine looks the best though.
All right, guys, but that's pretty much going to wrap up today's show. I'm very disappointed in our community because no one yet has left us a drunk voicemail or sent me a dick pic or something inappropriate to our phone line 732-835-8639. Again,
scared.
732-835-8639. If you guys leave us a voicemail, I will play it on the show.
That's why they won't fucking leave a voicemail.
Well, if you say in the voicemail, "Don't play this on the show," I'll definitely play it on the show. No, I'm just kidding. I won't. No, if you don't want me to play it on the show, I just say that and I won't. But yes, you can voicemail, text, send us pictures, whatever you want. 732-835-8639. Email us info@luredup.com. Visit luredup.com for everything that we're doing. I mentioned the Patreon at the top of the show. Please leave us a review in iTunes. That would help us greatly. We would really appreciate it. Other than that, guys, you got anything else?
Nope.
Do that street map thingy that Ken was talking about.
Yeah, if you
With the
wanna-
S3s and the 7s and the 22s and the...
I'm telling you, the people
nerd.
that do it will. Yo, Jersey J right now is sitting in his fucking recliner, spinning a stop in the at the playground at the corner by his house because he knows what the fuck to do. I'm telling you, man, it's all.
I believe that like 100%.
Jersey J, can I send you my coordinates? And it's just at the end of the street where it meets the main road, the left corner. That's where the moose is.
We're gonna
Let me know.
Adam. You know what? We're gonna turn that fucking moose into a PokeStop. We are gonna. This is the experiment. We're gonna do a live experiment on this show. We are gonna figure this out. We're gonna do a Skype call. Bring up OpenStreetMap. You're gonna tell me exactly where this fucking thing is. I'm gonna get my shit up in Ingress and I'm gonna submit it. I'm telling you, We're gonna make this
See,
happen.
now this is something I would like to see happen, and I think our listeners will appreciate if you can make that happen for
and I'll be
Adam.
able to
It'll
take
be
like
so-
a picture
it'll be
of the
really
moose,
funny,
and
actually.
like that'll be an Instagram picture for you guys.
When you do it through the in-game submission in Ingress, you have to add the photo, and like there's photo requirements, what distance, what size, what angle, lighting, all that stuff. So you actually have to take a good, decent picture. Even though I've seen some PokeStops with some real bullshit fucking pictures, but anyway. But thank you guys so much for listening, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.